Oh man, NXT SpringBreakin. It just went off the air. UPR, the NXT review show, is about to go on the air. We're about to give you our thoughts on tonight's show. We can't wait to talk with you guys about NXT, and we're gonna go live right after the very, very quick intro. That is like 5 seconds. Oh, that didn't really. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. That was such a big delay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT review show. I'm Bad Guy Jack, a.k.a. the Grand Poobah, and I'm joined with... It's been a long time since we've formed this team. The Bad Dolls, the Wrestling Doll. Tell the lovely people, how are you?
I am fine. I've just been busy working both at my normal job and my soon-to-be bigger side hustle on the weekends with going to other shows and such.
Tremendous. Why don't you, real quick, before we break down NXT, first off, you guys, thank you for watching us. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like. Give us a thumbs up. All that stuff. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. I don't think it's been that long. I don't know who's behind.
I was here for the AEW review not that long ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I saw you not that long ago on the AEW, and it was another show that you was on. Someone's just having some fun. But real quick, before we break down NXT and we give our thoughts, why don't you give a quick let everyone know, what did you think about NXT tonight?
Well, it's been a minute since I'd watched NXT, mainly because I've been busy working night shifts, so I haven't been able to. But I was finally happy to catch this one, and it was pretty damn good. So I was happy to come back for this one.
I agree. I thought NXT was pretty fun tonight. It was it had some really good things. I see you, George. You say wearing the Sonic, of course, because I love Sonic the Hedgehog. He's the greatest. He's the greatest video game character of all time. You know, I saw on Twitter someone say, "Who's the greatest video game character of all time?" Sonic the Hedgehog. Sorry, Pac-Man. Sorry, Mario. Although I do want to say real quick, cheap plug. We did a Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers movie review a few weeks back. It was great. I thought it was a tremendous movie. So yeah, I wanted to throw it out there. NXT, it's SpringBreakin. They're having their SpringBreakin theme show. It opens up with a lot of the NXT stars. They are having like a barbecue. They're having a good time. They're giving their predictions on what the matches are going to, the victors of these matches. I saw someone on Twitter ask, "Where's Double Gato?" And it was revealed in this opening package. He's having a barbecue. He's at a barbecue and he attacked. Is it Harvey Body? I just want to make sure I got his name. Body Harvey, right? Body Harvey. He's hilarious because when he's getting a hamburger, he moves a hand. He doesn't know whose hand it is. Which, I mean, when you're 6'8", I mean, you have big, gigantic hands. I don't know why he thought he could just do that and get away with it.
Because when you think you all that and a bag of chips, you think that you can do anything and beat up everybody.
What kind of bag of chips did you think he was? What kind of bag of chips?
Like some spicy Takis or something.
Yeah, he was. Was one of my favorite
spicy Takis, but all he was some salt and vinegar chips, and I can't stand those.
Salt and vinegar chips. Those are awful. I'm not gonna lie. Those are just.
I tried those.
I'll be quite frank. If I can be quite frank, like a Nick Cannon CD, I ain't buying it. So yes, absolutely, you're not gonna get those kind of chips. Although I used to love the honey barbecue Wise chips, but they've been really cheap with the honey on it. I feel like I don't know. They took me with the honey.
A small pinch of honey.
Yeah, not even a small. I feel like someone said it's kind of honey. It's like spit. It's not even what you shouldn't eat spit. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just getting very carried away. But they opened up with this intro. I thought it was really good. It was funny. It was hilarious. We see you guys in the chat. We got Charmaine. She's saying, "Hey, Barbara." So apparently I'm invisible. I don't know. Can you guys see me? Can you guys?
You do all the time. She hasn't seen me for a hot minute. That's the only reason why.
No, Barbara. I mean, Charmaine has become my arch nemesis. She has become Bowser to me. She acts like I don't exist and all that stuff and all that guy.
No one here knows you exist.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, But yes, Jeffrey, what's going on? Jeffrey, he's tremendous. He's always here on the NXT show. George as well. He says that I called it. Kiana James just dumped Jensen. Yep.
Anyway, she never liked him. I knew she didn't.
We got also to, I wanted to give a shout out to Warman here. He said Warman's here. What's going on? He's part of the Jetpack Empire, right? It's the strongest thing on UPR. And we got RJ, the Brooklyn. I didn't know he was from Brooklyn. Brooklyn Savage. Hey, Rustling Doll. He also says, hey, bad guy. What's going on? RJ, he's tremendous. He's great. Let's talk about match one. It opened up with Tony D'Angelo and Stacks. Going to Pretty Deadly. I think this was a great opener for the show. These guys have been feuding for the last few weeks. Pretty Deadly was pretty. I'm not even trying to be funny. Was deadly in this match, which is great. It showed, like Pretty Deadly. I think sometimes their character, it's easy for them to get lost. Like, oh, they're just pretty boys and their characters and stuff. But they're like beating the hell out of the family. I wish I had a picture.
Out of D'Angelo and Stacks, mostly D'Angelo.
Yeah, D'Angelo was taking out a good portion of the match, and it felt like it was really Stacks getting his ass kicked, but Stacks was showing that he can hang and be out there. There was so much chaos going on here. So, once again, I feel like I need to reveal this to you guys as I review it. Like, we don't go over every little move in the match and stuff like that. But there was so much chaos. I put chaos. There was a wheelbarrow, a crowbar, and a crowbar. I think Tony D. No, it was Tony D. He tried to use the crowbar on one of the guys from Pretty Deadly, and then there was this little pool. It's like a pool with balls in it, and
pool.
Yes, and they got thrown into there. So it was so much chaos going on. Pretty Deadly took advantage of this match. They were really just taking advantage, beating up the family. They do spill milk. That's like that's the tag finisher. But when they did it, you can tell like the guy who goes for the net breaker. Forgive me because I'm still working on knowing everyone's names here. He didn't get all of it, but you know what they were going for. And they try to put Stacks in the trunk. Did you see this car? The car?
I did see the car. They said it was a car from like the 1940s, and they did put Stacks in there, and they shut the trunk, which was stupid on their part, but we know why they shut the trunk.
Yeah, they put him in the trunk, and or they put Stacks in the trunk. But wrestling, I love wrestling. I've watched wrestling for a long period of time. Sometimes I don't question things, but I do. But
don't we all?
We do. No, I'm still trying to. I still hold a grudge on being lied to about Edge and Christian being brothers because I believed it, and then when they split and they kind of reformed a little bit in 2005, they were like, "Hey, the best friends are going to be the best friends."
I know we were on.
You told me they're brothers, but there's a spot where Stacks, he's in the this 1940s car, and he pulled out a fire extinguisher and said, I'm laughing because I'm saying, why was that there? Why was that there? But
they probably put it in the car in case of an emergency. That was the emergency. Put out the fire that is Pretty Deadly.
So who do you think put the fire extinguisher in the car?
D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo looked like someone, he reminds me of Tony D. And I got to give him a lot of credit because Tony D, when he was in the War Games match a few years back, he was someone to me that just stood out. I was like, why is he in this match? But he's proven me wrong and just showcased how much better he has gotten. I want to say I was wrong on that. Like, he's gotten a lot better. And I think just him and Stacks together is just so good. But I was going to say with Tony D, he reminds me of a guy. I don't know if you ever watched DuckTales, but Scrooge was the kind of guy. What was it, Uncle Scrooge? He would put a quarter in the machine, but he had a string to his finger, and he would take the quarter out, and he still got this soda, which I never understood how that worked.
Cartoons don't make sense. You don't have to try to understand it.
I want to understand everything. But, the family gets the win. They put Pretty Deadly in the trunk. I guess we can get to the end right away, but
I'm swimming with the fishes.
They went swimming with the fishes. So, what do you think about this match, Wrestling Doll?
Well, besides the first thing that came to mind was that Pretty Deadly looked like they were trying to be in the 2023 version of Brokeback Mountain. I thought it was a good match. Well, am I wrong with what they were wearing? They look like cowboys. And not even like the main characters in that movie, but like secondary characters that just pop up every now and then if they were to change.
You're talking about Pretty Deadly, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Carry on. Please carry on.
It was a very entertaining match. I was especially surprised with the spot when they hung Stacks up by his feet on the turnbuckle and were hitting him while the chair was on the ground. I thought, shouldn't they have grabbed the chair and hit him on the head with it or something? I would have done that. I would have grabbed the chair before hanging him upside down and started hitting him upside the head with it.
Well, nothing, Wrestling Though. You're revealing that you are pretty much a heel, so that's fine.
I'm not a heel. I would just be a strategic person, whether I'd be a face or a heel.
I like that, because then I feel like all heels could say that. I'm being strategic. Like, what are you talking about?
That's what they all say anyways.
I thought this was a good match. I thought it was a great open. There was a lot of chaos going on in this match, and
as you would expect, was Pretty Deadly.
And Pretty Deadly, right? But Pretty Deadly
became pretty dead real fast.
You trying to win funniest host, and I don't like that at all.
I'm not trying. The stuff comes up in my head, and I just say it out loud.
Unbelievable! I won this award last year. And now you're trying to take that away from me.
I am not doing no such thing.
Thank you. I want to be voted.
It is not my fault.
And I plan on winning again for the 6th year in a row. And
if you do win, then that's good on you.
Well,
I would never try to take that from you.
Thank you. I just wanted to be sure because I should win it. I deserve good things. But let's get into this chat because we see you guys in the chat. We got I want to make sure we're up to everything. We got Charmaine. She says Cora Jade copy AJ Lee's promo. I'm pretty sure she was inspired by her. I'm pretty sure. I don't think she really copied everything from her.
Not completely, but they have a very similar in style of AJ Lee, somewhat with her personal style, and with the stuff she said last week. But I don't see
similarity. I agree.
AJ Lee.
No, there's definitely a similarity. I agree. Looked like Pretty Deadly's going to the main roster. Yeah, and you know what? Not for nothing. Before we went on air, me and Wrestling Dog were talking. It would be so beneficial for them to be added to that main roster, the tag team, because they're tag teams, and we were talking about makeshift tag teams. It's great to have actual tag teams. So I just feel like that would be such a beneficial thing. But I would ask you guys, where would you put Pretty Deadly?
SmackDown or Raw?
Absolutely. We got George again. The family's going for the NXT Championship. But I don't see them winning it. There was balls. There were balls from a ball.
With the balls, that's what he means.
There was a football thing, and that was a callback to Charlie Brown because I forgot what her name was. Lucy. Yes, and she would put the football down, and Charlie would go for it. And Charlie Brown was such an idiot. Like he's just I model my life not to be Charlie Brown because I said I don't want to be an idiot. What else we got here? What's your thoughts about the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship that was revealed on Raw? Why don't you take the floor on that? We could talk about that real quick. What did you think about it?
Well, let's see. We get another belt for the men. No shocker there. Which annoyed me because I feel like the women should get another belt because what else? What are they going to fight for besides the women's championship and the tag team champions that, again, don't get that much respect anymore? But also, who are they going to give that belt to? And if I swear it, they give it to Roman. No.
Nothing.
I would rather it be to Theory before to Roman, but not really. I would rather give it to Finn Balor or Cody Rhodes. Those would be my top 2 picks to give it to.
Definitely Cody Rhodes, but I see Cody Rhodes definitely still beating Roman.
I want him to beat Roman. I wanted him to beat Roman during WrestleMania.
I think a lot of us wanted, well, not because for me, I was for it. You know the group chat that we have.
The group chat that we have, most of the men are all Roman biased fans, so all of y'all would have picked Roman through and through, regardless.
I just want Roman, at this rate, I want Roman. This is how much.
I don't want Roman to be champion now, and I don't want him to be champion until 30-31, okay?
I want Roman to just be in Fast and the Furious, and he just beats Dom Toretto. That's all I want, because I'm so tired of Dom Toretto. My thoughts on the World Heavyweight Championship. So I looked at this. I love belts, right? My favorite design for the World Heavyweight Championship is the one in 2002. It was the Undisputed Championship, and eventually they just called it the WWE Championship, right? That's my favorite design. The belt itself, I feel like I might need time to get used to that design. I feel like, so when I look at the belt, right, and you see the comparison to the big gold, it's like, yeah, but the big gold was just a beautiful belt. So now they have this other championship, and I feel like what they could have done was have Roman float between both brands, have Cody beat him, and then eventually have Cody be like, I don't need two belts and do all that. I don't think they needed to make this other title. I just don't think that was necessary.
It was a waste of time.
It was. Some people feel like it's just pretty much a title that they made because it's like, hey, since no one can beat Roman, here's his other championship.
Yeah, I follow somebody that follows us on social media that said the same thing, and I posted that up on my story because I agreed too.
We got
we can't beat Roman belts.
What's going on, young man? That's what's his name? Mike Knox's son. So what's going on, young man? How are you? I heard that you was a fan of the NXT review, and we say thank you for watching. He said his daddy loves it. I don't know. It's just like it's there, and I feel like you didn't have to make a third World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, I guess what they're going to do is fuse both the WWE Championship and the Universal. It's just weird to me. I don't think they needed to do that.
They didn't need to fuse the belts, and they didn't need to make another belt. But it's whatever they want to do with their money at the end of the day.
Right, and I just feel like having all these belts, because something that we talked about in the Big Pop, right? And this is a question to you guys in the chat. I saw this on Twitter. And it was pretty much asking, have you given up on the women's tag team championship? And personally for me, I have. I mean, obviously they can rearrange things and make it feel important again. But right now, I just feel like because there's no tag teams and all this stuff, it's just there's all these belts. We don't need all these belts. I just don't think we need all these belts.
There that have worked together before that could reform their teams again, but they're not paying too much attention to the women's division.
And if once they start making that feel important, and I credit them last year because when they made the mid-card championships feel important, like look at Gunther right now as the Intercontinental Champion. You can't sit here and tell me that belt don't feel important. Austin Theory, his booking hasn't been on fire to me. It's just after he beat John Cena, and we'll get back to NXT, and I apologize jumping all around. But him as the United States champion, he beat John Cena, and it just doesn't feel important at all. It just felt like, yeah, I beat John Cena, and he's just, what's happening, you know? But we'll get back to some NXT. We see you guys in the chat. We want to say thank you guys for tuning in and just joining the conversation. We talked about this opener being a trunks match. Then we had Bron Breakker against Andre Chase. I'm not gonna lie, there wasn't even a whole lot of notes I put for this because I think.
Well, this was because it was like 5-10 minutes.
You're being generous. It wasn't 10 minutes because
I said 5 first.
Okay. Well ooh.
I'm just saying. I said 5 to 10 minutes max, and that's because it was like 5 to 10 minutes of Bron Breakker showing his new character and beating the crap out of Andre Chase.
Did you hear Bron Breakker's new theme? And now you hear barking. I'm not gonna lie.
Beware of dog in the beginning.
Yeah, you know, when I heard the barking, I thought like at first I was listening to some DMX. So I was sitting there saying, oh man, Alexa, you need to chill. And not realizing that's freaking Bron Breakker.
Let me ask you this, since Bron Breakker turned heel and changed up his character a smidge, are you okay with him now?
Who?
You? Are you okay with Bron Breakker now?
I'll talk about this Bron Breakker guy. Like I've said before, you know, we have the same muscle definition. I don't see all the hype. I could do everything he does at least 11 times better. But this heel Bron Breakker, let's talk about it, right? He destroyed. I didn't have a chance to upload this footage, but it's pretty much Godzilla when he walks through Tokyo. I mean, he really destroyed Andre Chase. But I do appreciate Andre Chase did get some offense in there. It wasn't like Andre Chase just got like scrubbed out of existence. But Bron Breakker was going to beat him. I know they just wanted to have him on the card, talking about Bron Breakker, and Andre Chase was going to lose. I don't know much more to say about it. But I do want to add, I do appreciate, because this was something I was thinking about recently. I was like, it would be cool if he started adding the Steiner recliner. You know, I think that would just be. It's something about the Steiner recliner. It's funny. When I first saw the Steiner recliner in WCW, when his uncle was doing it, I never thought it was a camel clutch. But thank God I play wrestling games and they call that camel clutch too. I said, that's a freaking camel clutch. And then I was like, but that still hurts because if I got camel clutch, I would tap out immediately. But he beats Andre Chase, which is not a surprise. What did you think about this wrestling dog?
Well, as I'd said before, I did like Bron Breakker in the beginning, although when I first saw him come out, I was like, who the hell is this guy? Why is he coming in? And as I kept watching, I was fine. I just got bored of the character with the second title reign. But this new character, I think it'll do for him the same thing it did for Cora Jade, which is give a refreshment to his character and actually make people interested in him again. Because like I said, when I've gone to NXT, sat with one of my friends, always booing the crap out of him when he was champion because he wanted Odyssey Jones to go after him and become the next champion. I just feel like this could definitely help Bron Breakker in terms of his character work in there. Because his in-ring work is fine. It's just when he did like promos and stuff, it was just kind of meh.
Right.
And I would have liked for him to have a mouthpiece, but there's not really many people in there that could be a mouthpiece right now, except for Robert Stone, who's too busy with Von Wagner.
Did you hear about the stuff with Von Wagner? And they were saying like they want to make him like a WrestleMania main eventer or something like that.
And they could do that if he had charisma, which he does not have, which is why he has Robert Stone.
Which is not a bad thing. I mean, I think one of the things you want to do. Paul Heyman was so smart. One of my favorite wrestling DVDs is The Rise and Fall of ECW, and Paul Heyman would always say like something like, "There's a lot of characters I can't think on top of my head." Excuse me, that's the hiccups kicking in. Shout out to Wendy's. Wendy's make great burgers.
Yes, they do.
They are great. Oh my God, yes, thank you. You get it. Like I had a David Singles, and not David the technician. He sucks.
Well, damn.
But one of the things with Paul Heyman, he would point out and he would say like, if he knew a weakness of said character or wrestler, he would find a way, maybe make the match shorter, add a mouthpiece. So I'm just saying all that to say is Von Wagner having a mouthpiece, having Robert Stone, because I was when Robert Stone said, "Hey, if you lose, we're done." I said, I don't know about Von. I don't know if Von can really carry on his own. Oh my God.
No, not right now.
Yeah, so I think him on his own is probably not on his own, I'm sorry. Him with Robert Stone is very beneficial. I apologize for saying all that. But he was talking all this stuff about Braun. Yeah, this heel turn has probably been one of the better things for him. I feel like a lot more people have been behind him. And it was never nothing wrong with him. His in-ring work is good, and I think he has a great intensity to him. I don't know when people started really getting tired of him. Like for me,
around the second title reign, give or take.
Yeah, and I agree to that. And the second title run,
we're getting bored.
Yeah, because I would sit here and ask you. I would ask you guys in the chat. His second title reign. When did you fall tired of him, or when did you? I'm trying to figure out the words here, because like his second run, I'm like, what was memorable about his second run? And I felt like, and I've always said this, him against Gunther, I thought they shot that out too quickly. That was something that they could have saved for later in the summer, but I guess they just wanted to have Gunther on the main roster, which is great because Gunther is killing it on the main roster. Shout out to him. But I thought that was something they could have saved for an actual event. Dijak. Let's go to the next segment. We have Dijak. Dragunov. He attacks Dragunov. I mean, he beats the hell out of Dragunov. He does. He chokes him. He beats him. He says, "You feel alive now? You feel alive now?"
He made him feel more alive by pulling down the door on him.
Well, because you know what it is. Because Dragunov sat here and said when he fights, he feel alive. I was just waiting for Dijak to say, "Do you bleed?" But I don't think he ever saw Batman. Was it Batman v Superman? Which you're not missing much. Sorry, I'm just throwing it out there. Civil War was a better movie. I just want to throw it out there. We got in the chat. We got Anthony. I'm sorry, you guys. We just want to, let's get to you guys. We got George. He says Andre Chase got dominated. Yeah, yes, and I hate to report stuff like that, but he did get dominated. We got Anthony. Honestly, I can give Breakker the benefit of the doubt a little bit. His uncle and his father weren't really known for promo skills, wrestling doll and Grand Poopa. Right, and I don't think there's anything wrong with his promos. Like, I'm not saying he's charismatic, but I think he delivers it. He delivers fine. He's fine when he talks. I don't think there's anything wrong with his promos. After his uncle's funny promo skill is what made him interesting. Absolutely. Listen, when he gave Scott Steiner, it was Survivor Series 2002. Scott Steiner grabbed the mic and says, "Give me the fucking mic." I sat here and said, "He got away with? How did he get away with saying that?" Scott Steiner's hilarious. You give him a mic, he's going to be hilarious. And also, if anything, if you need proof of that, watch his TNA work. I feel like those are the most hilarious things. We got NXT fans are just fickle. I don't think it's just NXT fans. I think that's just
wrestling fans in general are fickle.
Absolutely, in general. We got in the middle. We got George. His second timer was pretty decent, but we know he was going for the NXT Championship as a heel. We got Michael J. Knox. What's going on, Michael J. Knox? George, don't miss with the Mike Knox show. Wow, sad. We got Dijak blinded him out of nowhere, and all we saw was a big boot to the face. We got Lies, Batman v Superman. Everyone laugh at him. Give him -6 points because woo! That was a funny. I might lose this year for funniest host. Wrestling Doll. We got Mike Knox. What's up? Yeah, Michael J. Knox. What's going on? I don't even know why we got a J there, but we're going to add a J. Where is Keanu James' apologist tonight? Listen, I can't wait to shit on that. At Mike Knox, what are you talking about? We got LOL. We got some laughter. Jack Pack Empire, the strongest thing going on. See, she gets it. That's why you're going to get a shirt. You're tremendous. Thank you. Oh, we got Noxer. What we got here? What's that? A -600. Thank you, H-Man. H-Man is great. Listen, I don't know if you noticed, but H-Man is tremendous. He is the mayor of the Jack Pack Empire. He runs the finances because if it was up to me, it would be all spent on Sonic the Hedgehog. But we have Lyra Valkyria against Cora Jade. You want to give some thoughts on what you thought about this match, Wrestling Doll?
Well, I kind of figured if they're going to have Bron Breakker win tonight, they might as well have had Cora Jade win tonight, too. More heel wins. Another reason why I said that everybody knows why they're dating, but it's fine, whatever. But the match was good. It was entertaining. I saw on Instagram, I follow some wrestling fan pages, mostly the ones I follow, too, are women's wrestling fan pages. And there was one that mentioned, like, Cora Jade's thing was good. It's just the whole distracting with the kendo stick bat thing that she has is kind of boring. Which I can agree that using the same thing over and over again to win can get kind of old. So maybe try something else. But I think that's just her thing for now. But the match was fine. It was nothing to brag about. If I had to rank the women's matches that happened or any of the matches with women in it tonight, I'd put it in the bottom. Only because it was fine, but it didn't grab my attention too much. It could have been better, but it did what it needed to do. It solidified Cora as a threat to the NXT women's division as being a copycat AJ Lee, as someone said earlier in the chat.
I do want to sit here and say, real quick, Michael J. Knox, that's very rude.
Are we all biased about our opinions about movies and TV and such?
I was asked recently, they said, what was better between the Super Mario Bros. Movie and the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie? I said Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and everyone laughed at me. And I sat here and said, does this count as me being the winner for UPR Funniest Hosts? Jack Superman all day, end of story.
Jack, he says Superman overall, # end of story.
Superman is like probably the most boring superhero. Like, let's be real. Like, listen, he got all these abilities. It's great, but he's never in any threat. Like, let's be real. He's never in any threat. I don't know. Let me hit you guys. What's your favorite superhero? Let's have a fun conversation here. I agree with everything that you said when you were talking about this match. It wasn't an awful match. It did what it needed to do. This match was something. How long ago did they announce this match? I forget. I feel like they announced it in February, and then we didn't get it, and now it's April. We finally got the match. Cora wins, which is fine. And, you're building her up. Listen, it doesn't do anything to Lyra. Lyra is going to be fine.
They didn't build up the story too much with them, I feel like, which is the problem. That's why I wasn't as interesting or wanted to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think bad of this match. I felt like it just did what it needed to do. You build up Cora. She looked like she's definitely going to be in that women's title conversation.
Oh, for sure.
So you build her up, and once again, Lyra, she'll be fine. She'll do fine. I think she's
fine.
Yes, we got in the chat. I'm sorry because I mentioned like what's your favorite superhero. We got he does lose to a stone. We got my favorite superhero is Namor.
Namor,
that's how you say it. Thank you. Which is amazing because I didn't think anyone liked Namor. Namor was like one of the first superheroes. He debuted in like the 1940s or something like that.
Okay.
We got Jeffrey. We got Superman was my favorite. Close seconds, The Flash. I love The Flash actually. He fits up my because I love it. If I had a superpower, it would be speed. My favorite superhero is Superman. Oh, come on, George. Damn, man. Close second is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is dope. I gotta say, Wonder Woman is dope. I had this argument with my mother, Mama Bad Guy, because I was trying to explain to her, like, Captain Marvel was strong, but Wonder Woman would beat her. And she said, you don't know what you're talking about. I said, all right, Mom. Because I can't argue with the woman that gave me birth. It's because she comes from Harlem, and she's 5'7". I'm scared of women that's 5'7". If you're under 5'7", I sit here and say, go back to Smurfville. We have Carmelo Hayes against Grayson Waller.
1 second.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay. I don't think I need to lead this match. Why don't you tell the people what did you think about this match? Wrestling Dog. She has the belt. She has the glasses. I feel like she's ready to go into
I don't have the NXT belt, but I have the NXT necklace. So that's what I have. So let's see.
God darn it.
We got Carmelo in his Lakers gear that he wore for NXT Stand and Deliver, which I have to get used to wearing long pants for wrestling. I was kind of fine with him in like the trunks. But the match was great. It was a great first title defense. Not to mention Grayson Waller gets his viral moments from losing. What I wish had happened at the end of the match is that Carmelo poured something in the shoe and just spilled it on his head, spilled it on his face to show like, you wanted your shoey, here's your shoey. But as always, Carmelo was doing exactly what we all knew what he was going to do with the title. He's very charismatic on the mic. He's very talented in the ring. He can cut a promo. This is what I wanted in terms of getting a champion after having Bron Breakker be champion. We needed somebody who could really carry the belt and make it feel super more important than it was before. And Carmelo was definitely doing that, especially to the fact that they called out Bron Breakker to come in. And literally, as I was watching, I was looking at the back, waiting for Bron Breakker to come out because we all know he was not going to come out the other way. But the match was great. They both had their moments, especially when Grayson gave himself the first viral moment he had and jumped from the top of the ring onto the announce desk, which Booker T actually moved this time. So I didn't watch NXT last week, but I did catch that clip of him getting JC Jane getting thrown onto him.
We have a can I play a clip like what happens when Booker falls?
Proceed.
I keep on falling.
I was surprised that Book didn't get knocked down because I feel like at this point
they warned him last week and he's warning him now. You better get up. I warned you last week. We're not dealing with this again.
You know, I do want to mention a little bit about Vic, right? Because Vic gets on my nerve, right?
Vic always gets on your nerves. You always have at least one person on commentary that gets on your nerves.
I went to make an appointment to the doctor, and he said, "Hey, your blood pressure is going through the roof. Tell Vic to stop."
I
But
thought he was going to say, "What's the cause of your blood pressure?" You would have been like 2 words, Vic Joseph.
no, I didn't have to do that. My doctor knows me very well. We have listen. Surround yourself with people that you can have Domino pizza with, not 7-Eleven pizza, because that's trash. You never want to have 7-Eleven pizza. Say it is trash, isn't it? Trash. Admit it. It's trash.
It was fine, but only because I was hungry. Other than that, I would have never get it.
Listen, don't do that to yourself.
I only did it one time. I haven't done it again.
Good. Like, yeah, that's great. I wish people told Bobby Brown that about Coke. But anyway, you know, I'm sorry, I'm just talking a lot of nonsense here tonight, guys.
But we love you.
But Carmelo Hayes, I mean, this made sense. No, I wanted to talk about Vic. So, you know, early in the night when Bron Breakker, I'm sorry, this is something, it was in my notes, I just wanted to mention it. But he tells Bron, he tells Booker, I don't understand why Bron is like this. I don't know where this came from. Why is he so negative to the NXT crowd? Because they were so mean to this guy. Like, this guy went out here and he put on good matches. He did nothing to like Bron at one point would have helped an old person cross the street.
You were mean to him too.
I mean, this is not towards me. I know who I am as a person.
I know. I
know how I sleep at night. I sleep at night. I watch YouTube and go to sleep on the side because I sleep on my side. It helps me. I don't even know what you're trying to get at, Wrestling Doll. I think you're trying to make me look like the bad guy, and people don't like that. H-Man, are you in the chat? H-Man, no. H-Man, are you in the chat? -5 points for Wrestling Doll. But I just didn't think.
I'm just saying, you've said stuff before too, so you've seen what other people probably didn't see beforehand.
Unbelievable.
They turned on him even before he became heel. That's why he turned. The people, him losing
the chat didn't ask for this. Now the chat as the Messiah of Tuesdays, they're really upset. H-Man, -5 points, please. H-Man, I know you're in there. I hope you are. Well, George, do that for me. George isn't
going to do that. He loves me.
Yeah, George is always against me. George is always against me for whatever reason. Let's talk. But the match was decent. It did what it needed to do.
I enjoyed this match.
But he brought out Braun, and I was with you. I hate this. I hate when people are babyface because it's almost like you lose a sense of knowledge, right? So they're waiting for Braun to come out because they think he's going to come out through the intro, and you're like, this white man is going to come through the crowd and jump.
Here's what pisses me off, especially when they do the recent switch of heel to face. Mm-hmm. They know the person's going to come out from behind, that they're not going to come out through the front like anybody else would. So why look that way if you know it's going to happen? The only thing that happened was Trick Williams actually turned around and saw that he was about to get speared, so he took it for Carmelo.
Yeah, he did. At first it looked like Melo moved until not realizing that Trick, because Trick's his boy. Like, good for him. But carry on. You're doing a good job. Carry on.
Thank you. Anyways, I hate when they have them do that because, like, why not let them keep a little bit of their heel-esque knowledge and use that to their advantage of being a babyface? Be strategic with it. It doesn't mean that you're turning on the people or anything. It just means that you're trying to play smart with what you know that they're going to do.
And I feel like it's such a wrestling trope that you need to just break away from that. Like, it just seems so silly that he's looking like, why is he not looking all around? Like,
if I were a wrestler, I would be doing that. I wouldn't just be standing around waiting to get hit.
The Shield gave me PTSD. Like, when you heard the dun, I'm looking all around because I knew these guys were coming from the crowd. Like I'm looking all around. I'm sitting there going, where are these guys coming from? You know, like I don't know. I'm just saying the Shield should give you that mindset of like, not everyone's coming
Some
from
people forgot what 2012 to that era of Shield was like for a while.
They were so great. Such a great faction. Matter of fact, to the point where when I do walk downstairs, sometimes I stop and then I would just put the Shield theme on because it just doesn't feel right. We see you guys in the chat. Wow, we got let's go real quick. Let's make sure we got this. We got Jeffrey. What's going on, Jeffrey? He said Vic didn't even help him up. No, he didn't.
Well, this time he moved out of the way, so
Vic needs to sit with Booker. Yes, I
Vic
agree.
has been sitting there for a while now, so
No, Vic gets on my nerve because even when the stuff with Johnny Gargano, hey, you beat up Johnny Gargano. That's your best friend, and you didn't help. You just watch him get his ass washed. There was so much.
Obviously, a commentator, not to get in the ring and fight.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let my friend get his ass kicked, and there's gonna be ass juice.
No, that's fair. I'm just saying that's what he gets paid.
The crowd kept booing him, and now he's a heel. Anthony says 500 points for Wrestling Doll. I don't understand how this is happening. We got -5. There we go. 100. There we go. We have the actual score man, H-Man, because we got people H-Man sleep. No, he's not. He's up.
Just keep scrolling.
And we got 600 points to see. The George has always been against me. Always just been against me. Unbelievable. George, stop copying. Thank you. H-Man, this is why he's the mayor. Now he's in his second running. I don't know what they call that. We got, bro, that final spear spot was crazy. It was crazy. He speared him through a wall. It was ridiculous. Just call him Bron Breakker.
And they had to wheel him out on the journey.
I'm sorry,
you just read the comment, didn't you?
No, if Braun start coming out in white and going, hey.
Well, he's not going to be doing that.
Because Braun, that Pitbull, he always wore white and he was always yelling. And this is coming from me.
It's not like a dog barking, so it makes sense.
Braun Pitbull.
Jeffrey, you just broke Jack. You broke your partner today.
I just want to see Bron Breakker in white. Just start saying
he's not going to do that.
Gonna have a good time. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be professional. I'm sorry. That's your fault, Jeffrey. Damn it, Jeffrey. -5 points for Jeffrey. We had we talked about the Carmelo Hayes. Let's talk about Josh Briggs and Henley against Brooke Jensen and Kiana James. I'm honestly tired of this feud. I understand that you need different.
The ending of it, to be honest.
I feel like this is definitely the ending. I'm tired of it because it's just not for me. But I understand in wrestling you just have to have different things. Not everything needs to be serious wrestling and all that stuff. You need layers. But this is some CW loving stuff.
This is some soap operas that start like 20 years ago and still keep going forever and ever and never keep stopping. And you can stop watching 5 episodes and the episodes are literally only like 30 minutes into the future.
So what you're saying is it's a
soap opera.
Oh yeah. But
it's literally a Spanish soap opera that my grandmother would watch in English.
Oh, that's great. So Josh, I'm not gonna lie. I sat here when I saw
soap opera because literally these ones are boring. At least Spanish soap operas are a little more entertaining.
See, I got Anthony. He wrote "This is Day of Our Life." I was going to think of the show called "As the World Turns." I think that's what it's called. The World Turns. I don't know what it's called. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And which had a really sad theme. I think I would cry when I would hear it.
Well, I never watched it, so I don't remember it.
I just listen. I never watched Dawson's Creek, and I knew the theme because it was like something. I don't want to wait until my life is over. Something. There's a frog here and something.
We don't have to try to figure out the theme song to Dawson's Creek. I'm only going to say this about this storyline. Whether you all wanted to admit it or not, you all knew that exactly this was going to happen. Kiana never liked Briggs. She was only using, not Briggs, Jensen. She was only using him. She wanted to become champion some way, somehow, so she got close with them. Solely because she knew if she can't be NXT Women's Champion, she could be NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. So she used Fallon to get what she wanted. And she was seeing somebody else or 1 or 2 people on the side while dating her true love in Jensen. But the
Jensen wasn't a true love. What was his name? Sebastian. Yeah.
Don't know who he is. Don't care who he is because the storyline was so predictable. We all knew exactly what was going to happen. We had Briggs and Fallon Henley against Jensen and Kiana James. What was going to happen? Oh, Fallon Henley and Fallon Henley. I mixed the names up. I'm so tired.
Did you just
Fallon and Briggs won.
Mm-hmm.
Jensen and Kiana lose, and he finally learns what they already knew, which was she was using him. She never liked him. Blah 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 blah. And they hug it out. But the match was great. It had some good spots. Booker T had me mad with commentary on this one, and I'm gonna tell you why before you start yelling at me because I don't need to hear any yelling from you. Because he was saying like, "Oh, it's all Fallon's fault. She was getting in the way. She was interfering. She was spying on Kiana, going through her phone and shit." Well, if your best friend is dating someone that you're suspicious of, and you'd want to make sure that they're going to be okay, wouldn't you do something to make sure that they were fine? She was trying to protect her friend, who was like her brother, the same way that Briggs was trying to do. More or less than Fallon, only because that's what a lot of women would do. That was the main reason that Booker T annoyed me in commentary. That's the only thing. Other than that, they still need to be said. Men, they do strange thing for love. There was no love. There was lust. That's all it was. That was lust.
Look, I'm just going to tell you right now.
That you're going to yell at me for disagreeing with
No,
Booker T?
I think you made some valid points. I think they were tremendous. Good job, Russell Doll. That was great. I'm just going to point out right here. Jensen, I know you're looking for love. It don't exist. Don't let the Notebook fool you. I watched that movie too. It's not real. I know that, you know, he wanted to do everything for this girl. And Kiana knew that she had this guy wrapped around his finger like an earthworm. And poor guy, you know, you know what I said? So here's some of my notes. Oh my God, what's Jensen wearing? Oh my God, he really picked this chick over his friends. And then he got dominated by
when you don't
Jeff.
have any luck with girls and you get one that likes you, you tend to stick.
I don't know what any of that means. I feel like I've just been told something in a high language. But, you know, they get the loss.
If you get a girl that likes you after having no attention from girls whatsoever and your friends try to talk you out of it, you're not going to want to listen to them. You want to stick with the girl that actually wants you. Even though
you know what? But you know, good on Briggs, because Briggs is a great big brother. You said I saw that tweet, Jack. What are you talking about, Jeffrey? What was he? I don't even know what he's getting at. We got Adrian. If it was about Lost Bush, you guys in the chat.
I don't know what happened. They don't show that stuff because, as our truth said, I don't think that's PG.
We might have to have that as a footage. We're gonna have to have that as a clip here on the NXT show. I don't know. That's PG. You know, it's funny. I saw a tweet on and someone said, what is that? NXT is so campy and stuff like that, which it kind of is, which is fine because I think you have layers of things. But this match we need to do.
Brand. They got to work on character and stuff, and sometimes characters are going to be over the top. I mean, we have Pretty Deadly in there for crying out loud.
But Jeffrey, I really asked a serious question. I literally yelled, "What are you wearing?" You know, like he wore the shirt and then he wore the tights and then he changed. I'm like, Jensen, this ain't you. This ain't you. You know every season of King of the Hill.
You're in a ponytail.
You're in a ponytail. You watch King of the Hill. Stop acting like you don't watch King of the Hill. I know you know every season of King of the Hill. I know you know the No. Do not wear that suit and fool me.
He's not going to wear it anymore now that he's not with her.
Kiana James, you broke this young man's heart. It's disgusting. I'm not a fan of it. I don't defend trash behavior. And what you did is broke this young man's heart. Jensen, one day you'll find love. But till then, have a glazed turkey sandwich with Miracle Whip, and you'll be fine. Let's move on to the next subject because I'm going to yell some more.
Move on to the next subject before you go on another rant.
We have the debut to. I'm hoping I'm saying this man's name right because this man is a big man. We have Oba Fima.
Yes.
Homeboy is 6'6", 310 pounds. I didn't see how much he bench pressed. I mean,
415.
It was
415.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really impressed because I do that on a Monday. So I saw that. I said, okay, that's cute. I do that on I do that when, I just feel like it.
Oh, George corrected. He says Oba Femi or something along those lines. I don't know. My only question is why does NXT, why does the creative team feel the need to give these men three-letter names and they all have to start with an O?
Apparently, I got it right. I just want right here because I never get names right. So 100 points because I never get anything right. Thank you for that.
My only question is why do they have to give us another name like that? We can't even chant Oro in the NXT arena because it sounds like another word. So literally when that happened one time I went, everybody started chanting his last name.
Right. As soon as you said that, we're definitely gonna have the R-Truth PG thing going in.
Exactly. It's not PG, so why did they give him that name if we can't chant it?
I didn't write this stuff.
I know you didn't.
Thank you. I just wanted to be
That's just my ranting point.
I really,
match.
The only thing I didn't like of that it was Oro that he went against. I don't know when's the last time. Excuse me, Oro was on because he probably's on Level Up, right? He might be on Level Up, but I don't watch Level Up.
More on Level Up. I haven't had a chance to watch more of it, but the last time I saw him like on NXT was the ladder match for the North American Championship that Wesley won.
Oh, you talking about yeah. That was Halloween Havoc, I believe. Halloween Havoc, right?
That's when I remember seeing him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him on the main NXT line for a period, and I think Oro is he's very talented. There's something about him where I want to see more of him. So when I saw him go against him and he was just to put him over, I was like, that sucks. But I think he did a great job putting over.
Some people start out as like being jobbers over there, and then they get pushed into bigger things, even if they don't win.
We got H-Man. He says he was out here tonight. We got you got H-Man. Last when are we going to talk about the Grizzle? Oh, we didn't even actually talk about them. We could talk about them. Oro, no. Oro is Spanish for gold. Oh, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I don't think so. It might be a different Spanish word for gold, but not one that I'd heard.
But yeah,
good question. Who did jump Soul? Is the $1 million question.
I mean,
maybe Tiffany paid somebody to do it, so she didn't get her hands dirty.
She don't look like she gets her hand dirty. She makes sure she has a good pedicure and stuff like that. So that's a damn good question. But it's crazy because that footage, right? When you see her get jumped, you see the silhouette of her getting jumped on the outside, and the cameraman's just like, "Do I go outside?" The cameraman doesn't do anything.
He's like, he hears noises. He's like, "Do I do anything?"
I think he said this. I think he pretty much said that above my pay rate. I'm not going out there and getting jumped. Because why would you go into the NXT locker room? Well, I mean, parking lot. Like, stay away from that. Don't go there. But yeah, Femi, he gets the win. He beats him. And then we have Gigi. She takes the headphones. She calls out JC James. She said, "You want to make fun of me about my story and me being open and telling about me and my brother having a hard life. Well, he's going to be out," which I don't think that's something you should say. Like, hey, my brother's going to be out here.
Otherwise, we're going to have another repeat of Christian Cage and Jungle Boy at AEW with his sister and mother in the audience. We don't need that again.
We don't need that again. But she said that, so Gigi is full of, and I don't even understand how we can like any of these people when Gigi and JC have been nothing but not good words to everybody in the locker room. So how can I like any of these people?
Well, People have always had more of an interest towards Gigi in the beginning.
I wonder why.
Well, I mean, we know the obvious of why, but JC was always overlooked, even with her great mic skills. Gigi's skills are getting better. We can't say that they're not, but people have always overlooked JC. So when she cuts her promos and talks about how people overlooked her and paid attention to Gigi and Mandy, I thought she made fair points about that because JC was always my favorite when it came to Toxic Attraction, even though I didn't care too much for their title reign because I thought it was boring. I still like JC, even if her in-ring work isn't the greatest.
Yeah, JC, and I would ask my usual co-host, I would sit here and say, you know, because JC always felt like she was someone kind of lost. Like you knew Toxic Attraction was built for Mandy, like the vehicle was meant for her. And a lot of people were really feeling Gigi, and I was concerned about JC. But JC has been shown that she can hold her own and she can do very well. I see in the chat, JC promo H-Man, he says JC promo was wild last week.
It was.
Her tweet was, I was gonna say her tweet was kind of wild because last week is when they did the Gigi, they were showing her like her house, and I remember JC said, "Oh wow, can you get that house from on Zelle or something?" I forgot what it was. It was a really witty tweet. It was really good, so it showed how good she is. Let's get into the chat real quick. We got JC promo was wild last week. We got I think that Gigi will get her lick back. I think JC gets her win back because Gigi beat her in the first encounter, so I feel like JC does get her win back. The reason why people call Gigi a lot better is
like Gigi's because we're tatas
and I don't even think Gigi
other ones that she has. So
Gigi is my favorite because of one reason. Oh, there we go.
I mean, I liked her enough to dress up as her for MegaCon this year. So
oh, checked you out. JC was valid, to be honest. Being the no name, she was smooth in the ring and stood out with her character work and mic skills.
Well, I mean, technically, Gigi and JC were both indie wrestlers before they went into NXT. So if you want to call one of them a no name, both of them are technically no names because they were both independent wrestlers.
Ooh, check you out. Remember when George hated Toxic Attraction? Yeah.
I read stuff about Gigi. She's crazy.
No, Gigi
she was in NXT. She did crazy stuff.
I was more familiar with Gigi from some of her indie work. Matter of fact, she was in, I forgot what her name was before Gigi.
Priscilla Kelly.
Thank you. And she was in the Mae Young Classic. I think it was the second one. I forget which one, but I know she was in the Mae Young Classic. So I was more familiar with her. I didn't know anything about JC Jane. And JC Jane is just proving that she can hang in there. So good for her. We have Charles, I'm gonna say Dempsey. Is it Dempsey? I want to make sure I got this right. Is it Charles Dempsey? Yes. Because there's a bar around here. Okay, Charles Dempsey and Drew Gulak. They both badmouth Wes Lee. Drew Gulak says he's gonna break Wes Lee because he wants a shot at the North American Championship, and he said this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it looked like that's going to be the next match. Wes Lee has been putting on a lot of great matches as the North American champion.
People overlooked him while he was in MSK. I didn't. I've loved him since the very beginning, and now people are finally seeing what I've been seeing all along.
I think the thing was a lot of people were concerned when they took his partner away. What is going to happen?
That we will not mention.
Huh?
Because of things that we won't mention.
Absolutely. And you're kind of concerned about
him getting lost.
Yes. And they have taken care of him. They made him just the scrappy underdog, and he's been putting on a lot of great matches. So good on Wes Lee and him and Drew.
At least when the Black talents are champions, they're not just champions for Black History Month. Tony Khan.
Yeah, Tony Khan. Take that. Matter of fact, negative. Someone take points away from Tony Khan.
Negative 1,000.
Yeah. Oh, what she said. And then we have the main event, the NXT Women's Championship. We have Tiffany Stratton against Indy Hartwell and Roxanne Perez. This match was fine. Real quick, when the NXT Championship match was happening mid-show, I said, "Whoa, we're doing this now."
I was surprised too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Okay, one of the matches that involve women is going to be the main event." When I saw that was going to be the main event, I was very happy because it was nice to see women's wrestling getting highlighted as the main event.
How did you feel about this match? I mean, I know we were talking a little bit during the match, but why don't you give some thoughts?
Well, you were talking, not paying too much attention. I was watching as much as I could.
Sure, but why don't you give the thoughts that you have about this match?
Of course. So this match, it did what it needed to do for Tiffany Stratton. Everybody knows what Roxanne can do since she's been champion since coming in from day one after being called in from Ring of Honor. Everybody's known what Indy can do since being in the NXT Black and Gold brand, which is where I first saw Indy Hartwell as well. But Some people forget how good Tiffany Stratton can be. Now, I'll be honest, when Tiffany first came out with the whole daddy's rich girl thing, I wasn't too big a fan of that because I felt like it was just a buff rich girl Barbie Sharpay Evans kind of thing. But they've let go of that persona a little bit more. And she's being like that rich girl in the movies that like comes in her own and is figuring out a little bit of her personality while still being the mean rich girl. But this one can fight and shows just how tough and strong she can be. She's definitely the powerhouse that they have now as far as one of the women since they put up Raquel Gonzalez, now Raquel Rodriguez, in SmackDown. Like I said, the match did what it needed to do for Tiffany to show that Tiffany is a force to be reckoned with and can be a fighting force, but also shows that Indy can keep up with the punches. And even though she got injured on her ankle and had to get taken out, that she's not just the repeat of what happened with Carmella and James Ellsworth in Money in the Bank when Carmella won because Ellsworth got the briefcase for her.
No, great job, great analyst and on that. I laughed only because when you mentioned about the daddy girl and stuff like that, daddy little girl, I laughed because you said, and then she found her way. Now, I never saw this movie, but I feel like you were pretty much saying she was Legally Blonde too now.
No, not Legally Blonde. Because Legally Blonde, at least the main character was likable.
Oh.
You're thinking more like from High School Musical Sharpay Evans to when she went off to Chicago in her own movie. That's what you're thinking of. Yeah, they gave that character a spin-off movie after
Who
high school.
had a spin-off in this movie?
Yes. Sharpay went out to Chicago or New York or something to do acting. That was the spin-off movie. I didn't watch it. But that
I didn't either. I did. I just remember there was a song we're all in this together. I said, "Not me."
I was a big High School Musical fan when it came out.
I started swinging. You know when I started swinging in the air when they made a High School Musical too. I said,
I thought you were swinging when they made a High School Musical 4.
Wait, there was a 4?
4 movies, and then the spin-off.
No. Now this is why I want to make a time machine. There's a 4th one?
Yes. Oh wait, hold on. No, I got it wrong. It's just 3.
I can't. I might have to call my doctor after this because my blood pressure.
No, I mixed it up. It's just 3. I mixed it up.
I was gonna say my blood pressure right now is
just 3 in the spin-off movie. So I guess you can count that as technically the 4th movie.
You know what makes me mad? Black Lightning only had 4 seasons, and Dawson Creed had 6. And then I'm hearing this movie might have had 4. But my thoughts about this, Indy Hartwell retaining, it made sense. Tiffany's just not ready to be the champion. And something that she said, I wanted to highlight this real quick because I saw on Twitter, shout out to Twitter because you hear like, oh, Twitter's so awful, but I haven't run into the dark alleys of Twitter yet. But she said, I'm not ready for the main roster. I still got to work on my selling. There was a few things that she said she still need to work on, and I can appreciate that because that's her acknowledging that while I have these things down packed, there's other things I need to work on before you're calling me up. Because a lot of people are saying, hey, she could be on the main roster tomorrow. And she's saying, no. So shout out to her for that. I thought she had a great showing. Indy pinning Roxanne, the former champion, just to show that her win wasn't a fluke. And it was fine. I thought it was fine. There was a period where I didn't even know. And you remember I was talking to you. I said, where's Indy? Because then when Indy's running in, I didn't even know they took her out. So the match was solid.
Like Jack said, we were chatting for a bit, and I looked away for like 2 seconds, and I saw that she was gone for like about 5 minutes, and it was just Roxanne and Tiffany. I thought she was down on the ground.
Right.
Like resting and stuff. We didn't see that she was taken to the back because her ankle was all messed up for a bit. But
right
when she came back, we were like, oh, and then they said medically clear. We're like, oh, that makes more sense now.
Right. And you know what? Good for her. I mean, she's going to eventually drop the title. It's the question is to who? Is it going to be Tiffany or is it going to be Cora? And
the other question is, actually not a question, more of a statement. Let's just make sure it's not another Mandy thing.
It's not another Mandy thing.
Where she hogs the title for about a year and some change. And not have. But I feel like Indy could have some decent matches. And since she's not in a faction, she's not going to have people helping her all the damn time.
Well, we don't know because you gotta remember too. She can always have someone like a side.
She
like,
could, but she doesn't. Her thing
she
is
doesn't at the moment
by herself.
Right. You're talking about Tiffany, correct?
No, I'm talking about Indy Hartwell.
Oh, you're talking about Indy. I'm sorry. I just wanted to be sure. Yeah, no, Indy. Yeah.
No, unless they decide to give Tiffany 2 other girls to be her lackeys and to help her out at all costs that she pays, we ain't gonna get that.
Right.
Although they should do that. Like bring in some of these people that they have like training and stuff to be on NXT and have them like train in the back and stuff, but also be like Tiffany's little lackeys that she pays to help her in matches to ensure her victories so she could get closer to a title match.
We got I can see I don't even think she needs to have like a faction where it's like,
no, it doesn't have to be a faction. It could just be a couple of girls that she pays to help her.
Oh, pays to help her. Okay. We got in the chat, because we see the chat. We got Jeffrey said, I didn't see that one. I'm assuming he's talking about High School Musical. We got hey Indy Hartwell Cordray is coming for the NXT Women's Championship.
Been knowing that already when she attacked her.
Her being humbled is great. It is great. It's her acknowledging that there's a lot. And talking about Tiffany, that she acknowledges that, hey, there's things I can do to be better, because she has the potential to be something on the main roster, but you don't want to rush that. That's why a lot of times when I see people from NXT, it's like you don't have to call them up right away because they're so good. Like Bron, I was saying with Bron, I think Bron is ready. I mean, I feel like he has accomplished everything.
He's ready, but I feel like we should see more of what he could do as a heel in NXT before getting called up to see if he can do both.
Roxanne, I guess you could call her up, but I wouldn't necessarily.
I mean, if they were to call her up,
go ahead.
If they were to call her up, I feel like what they would have her do for the most part is be jobbing on main event.
Is Roxanne going to the main roster? I don't think so. I think who's going to be called up is Zoe Starks. I think she's someone. She did a lot of house shows, and I feel like Zoe Starks is someone who's going to be called up. She got 2 boots to the face from Tiffany. We got what the commentators on the main roster spam. Roxy learned under Booker T. They probably would
for a good minute.
They would.
They had done that when she was in SmackDown for a match.
She Indy does have Dexter, but Dexter can't.
But where's Dexter?
But he can't. Yeah, right. Well, that's a damn good. Well, he's probably underneath the ring.
Technically, Dexter is on the main roster.
He is.
So he's not in NXT to help his woman.
Was Kaden Carter and Katana Chance? I see them being called up too. I mean, something for me, like I asked earlier, like, what do you guys think about the women's tag team titles? Like, have you lost faith in them? And I think to put a little bit more faith in it, like if you add these two, an actual tag team.
I mean, Katana, when she was Casey Catanzaro, she's been in the main roster for like Royal Rumble and stuff once or twice, and she's shown that she can hang with the best of them. So why not?
Who are you talking about?
Getting with her to bring a little something to the women's tag division. It needs it.
Walter says Tiffany, Cora, and Andre to Raw. Roxanne going to SmackDown. I'm calling it. I don't think they call up Andre. Like, and Tiffany is someone. Go ahead.
Not yet. Plus, I feel like everybody in NXT has too much fun with Chase U. So.
Right. I think that's just such a great act in NXT that you don't want to call that.
Look in the audience. They literally have a Chase U section in there, and I sit next to them sometimes, so it's fun.
Oh yeah, you've been there and had a good time with them.
Yeah, I've sat next to some of them, and sometimes the people that are wearing the shirts but aren't sitting in that section, I have fun with them. Makes me want to buy.
They look like the life of the party. We got jokes aside. Indy deserve a run, to be honest. She's been so good so far.
She deserves a run for a while. The only title reign she had was a tag title reign. Am I wrong? When she was on the way with Candice LeRae?
No, I'm sorry. I was reading H-Man. But no. She's fine. I mean, she's fine. But I don't think she's going to have a run. I think right now she's holding the title for a bit, and she's going to put over somebody else. Like, it's not going to be this long title run. They wanted to give us – I felt like they gave it to her just to she's been there for a long time, and they wanted to give her a run.
Like with Kaden and Katana.
Right. I miss those girls, Kaden and Katana. We got also Kaden and Katana were recently on Level Up. And Did y'all see Andre Chase tweet? He's probably moving up or getting released to be on. No, I think that was just for the story. I don't believe it to be. Yes, I don't believe it to be anything more. So and George asks, Jeffrey asks, you're part of Chase U.
It grew on me. Yes, it did grow on me. Shay would be happy to hear me say that. Chase U grew on me because I used to rant about how much I didn't like Andre Chase because he annoyed the crap out of me, but it's grown on me. I still need a shirt, and I might, if I can get her one, I'll probably get her one. But
there you go. And you know what? That was the NXT review show. Wrestling Doll, you did tremendous. This was a fun review show, and I hope that you guys enjoyed our review show. We're gonna do some cheap plugs. They are cheap plugs. Why not? We're gonna do some cheap plugs.
We're doing it for free, so
they're free plugs. Actually, it's not really cheap. It's really free. You guys can catch. He was in the chat. He's tremendous. Michael J. Knox. He be reviewing everything. He talks Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. He yells a lot. There's a lot of flying spit. So you guys can check him out on Mondays at 6 p.m. I know this is such an outdated graphic. Bear with us. I have to work on making sure we have the most updated version of his graphic. But you can check him out on Monday, 6 p.m. Perfect Plex Radio Talk is for the intelligent wrestling fans. You know, you can be here on Tuesdays. I am here. I will be having a new co-host, so you can catch us right here on NXT. I don't have a graphic, but right here on NXT, right after it goes off the air. But you also can catch, if you guys like CW stuff, we've been reviewing Gotham Knights. Me, Vic, and Cedar Superior. We talk about Gotham Knights. It's fun. We do it on Wednesdays at, now I'm learning it's 9 p.m. I thought it was 8. And also, too, I mean, this is not the graphic for it, but they just reviewed John Wick 4 on the entertainment side, so please check them out. They're always doing franchises and movies, so please check them out. There's a link in the description to go to the UPR entertainment side. Also, another cheap plug here. I have a podcast. It's the audio podcast, the Big Pop 30 podcast. We talk about the week of wrestling. It's some really, really great stuff here. This past week, we had a mock draft. We asked what the hell Brock Lesnar was wearing last week because no one's going to say it to his face. And I know I wouldn't because I want to make 35. So please check that out. And Wrestling Doll, you have something too. What do you got going on for you? Let's talk about that.
Well, I have my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go around Central Florida filming wrestling matches and putting them up as quickly as I can for the sake of sharing fun, crazy matches with everybody that likes watching crazy wrestling. I'm already at 771 subscribers. Just need some 200 to get to 1,000.
And let's make that happen. And I think that is pretty much all the stuff going. Oh, and real quick. I'm sorry. Thursday. So the draft is going to be happening this Friday, right? We're going to have a draft. It's been a lot of talks about a draft. We are going to have right here at UPR. We're going to have a mock draft. It's a special. I believe. Oh, at 9. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Now I have to stay up later. But UPR, we're having a draft special on Thursday, 9 p.m. You're going to have the executive consultant, the coolest of the days, Big Daddy Cool. You're going to have Michael J. Knox, and of course, you're going to have the Grand Poobah because I am Mr. UPR. You know it. And we're going to have a mock draft. It's going to be fun. I believe the host is going to be the administrator, which I have questions. What have you ever administrated? But that's all the shows going on for this week. We hope that you tune in for all of them. And you guys have enjoyed this review. Once again, thank you guys for watching Unpopular Review. I hope that you like, love, and share, subscribe, all that stuff. Tell everybody about us. There's so much content here. It's a great brand, and we wanted to entertain you guys. So we hope that we did that. We have Via Hell she wasn't there. We didn't see it tonight. And y'all following Wrestling Doll. Yes, please give her a follow. And with all that said, we are going to end the show. So thank you guys for watching us. I just want to find the outro. And we say, hey guys, thank you for watching, and good night, folks. You guys rock. Thank you for watching the NXT review show. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and what's the thing called? TikTok. Yeah, that thing. So good night, folks.